Welcome back to the Holler. tnholler.com is where you can find us at the TN Holler on all your various platforms. We also have Holler all across the state. Thanks to your support. We appreciate it. And we appreciate the support from Elisa Parker. If you're buying or selling a home in Middle Tennessee, do it through her. If you need a lawyer, Abby Rubenfeld. And if you want a hat like the one I'm wearing, your small dollar monthly donations really do help. Today, we're going to talk to our friend Gloria. How are you, first of all?
I'm good. I've been attending a great conference in Nashville, feeling good about the folks out there doing the work.
Just want to talk about kind of the thing that's on everybody's mind right now, but with a little bit of a Tennessee spin to it. So as everybody knows, Jeffrey Epstein is not a good person. Best friends with Trump over a decade. For a long time, our friend Marsha Blackburn has been saying, we need the Epstein files. We need to see what's on the list. She has made this kind of her crusade, so to speak.
Who worked with Jeffrey Epstein in building these sex trafficking rings, vowed to work with me in releasing the Epstein records and breaking apart the trafficking rings.
A.G. Bondi and Director Patel are hard at work on getting all of these Epstein files.
Anyway, yada, yada, yada. You get the point. She did this for years. And then DOJ saying there's nothing to see here. And suddenly, Marsha Blackburn now says, I'm hopeful we can still uncover this information. Does not seem that interested anymore. Gloria, are we to just assume now that this was all performative?
We now know it was never about protecting children. This is about protecting the powerful. She has no interest whatsoever in bringing that stuff forward. She now wants it to go covered up. I know you delved into the Widens situation.
Let me give people the specifics on that real quick. So this is kind of one of the things that I think needs to be lifted up by Tennessee media. And again, more people should be talking about the Marsha Blackburn aspect of this. For someone who wants to be our governor to be this disingenuous about such an important issue feels newsworthy. And I hope Tennessee media will pay attention to this and start asking questions, specifically about one aspect of this that you just mentioned, which is Senator Ron Wyden just came out and said that Epstein has billions of dollars that have gone through his accounts. He, as a member of this committee, needed bipartisan support to issue a subpoena for these bank records. And according to him, one of the people that he tried to get to join him in issuing this subpoena was Senator Marsha Blackburn, but none would support a subpoena, the aide says. That is pretty damning for her to be saying that she is so interested in finding out this information, yet simultaneously refusing to back Senator Wyden's subpoena. It really goes to show how performative this all was from Marsha, right, Gloria?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's a day that ends in Y, Marsha is lying to her constituents. She has never been trying to get at this, but she knows that most people, regardless of what party they're in, don't want to see children trafficked and abused. We want to see this stuff. She's acting as if she's all about getting to the bottom of this Epstein thing. But when it comes down to brass tacks, she won't do the work to sign the paper to get the subpoena so we can really find out where the money came from and where the money went.
This isn't just Democrats that want this information. This is why this has staying power. And when Republicans say, well, Democrats maybe were protecting people like Clinton or whatever, I don't know a single Democrat that is like, if Clinton's in there, don't release it.
Any Democrat is in there, they need to go to jail too.
Exactly.
For it, I will not defend them. It is sickening to me that all of these Republicans are protecting a predator who preys on young children.
And so to say, well, Biden had it all along and he didn't release it. Okay, they should have. But again, it's not the Democrats that made this the issue that it has become. It is Republicans that were demanding this. The Republican AG that came out and said, there's nothing to see here. This is a bed of their own making. And if your biggest defense is, well, they should have released it a long time ago, great, I agree with you. But we are where we are now. Right now is when people should be demanding answers.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my fifth.
That's not a great look, Gloria.
Especially when you answer the first one.
The second one should be a quick no.
But we all know that it's not. And we all know that others are involved. But I say they all need to get in trouble. I'm ready to see anybody get consequences for this who deserve it. To pretend as if we care about protecting some Democrat, we don't. I've seen it before. I watched the whole Tennessee State Republican House protect a child molester, David Byrd, an admitted, credibly accused child molester that even Governor Lee and Beth Harwell
and Marsha
wanted gone, and Marsha. But the rest of the Republican legislators protected that man and his seat.
That's a great point. You said, well, it's never been about protecting kids. That's what we hear all the time here about everything, about their anti-LGBTQ attacks, about their books, everything. It's always protect the kids. Well, where are they on that now? And how can we listen to them? I mean, just this week, there was CPAC had a human trafficking conference and Pam Bondi tore her cornea and didn't show up. Maybe she couldn't even handle the hypocrisy of it. You see Ogles too. He had this protecting the pedo act that suddenly he's nowhere to be found on this. I do think there are some Republicans out there that do want to protect the kids. How can you stand by and watch this happen?
Yeah, and sometimes you just got to get up and speak the truth. And I'm so tired of this lack of political courage. I don't know what they're scared of: losing money, losing their seat, losing their power. Your job as elected official isn't about you. It's about lifting the voices of your community, and your community wants people who abuse children to come to justice.
Absolutely. What's going to happen next is Trump's DOJ has reached out to Galain Maxwell, accomplice of the now deceased Jeffrey Epstein, which I'm not even going to get into how he died and all that, but I certainly have my questions about that. Now Trump is going to turn to Galain Maxwell and probably promise her a more lenient sentence in an effort to get her to clear his name. Everybody should be taking what Galain says with a grain of salt. Don't take it from me. Take it from the always dependable Rep. Tim Burchett, who just today essentially admitted that they are going to promise Galain Maxwell a more lenient sentence in exchange for her testimony.
And if she's looking at maybe parlaying this into reducing her sentence, then we could have some leverage there.
God bless Tim Burchett. Whoever is telling this guy to keep talking, thank you. Keep doing that. Please encourage him to keep flapping his mouth, dadgummit. It is so useful all the time. Galain Maxwell is going to get a more lenient sentence if she helps Trump. And that is the deal that they are currently making with her.
Right. Certainly she wants to reduce her sentence, but what we have to do is stand steadfast on how do we know Galain lies if we don't get to see those Epstein files? What we need is the files. We don't need to hear from her unless that's after we have the files in hand and we can ask questions about that.
Tim Burchett, I love that guy so much. He never stops talking. There's never been a camera he didn't want to hop in front of, constantly putting his foot in his mouth. Really incredible.
About the big ugly bill, when he talked about people need to get off their ass and get a job. Most of the people who get Medicaid are babies or children or whatever. Tim Burchett has never had a full-time job that lasted a year outside of elected office. He had a business that went belly up because he messed up. Didn't even last a year and then ran for office.
I love Gloria with the T on Tim Burchett. That's the best.
And the only insurance he ever got was government insurance from being an elected official.
I liked how he said about the bill. He said, well, if you're doing pretty good, it's going to help you. And if you're not, well, maybe it won't help you. It's like, thank you for saying exactly the quiet part out loud all the time, man. It's so great.
The GOP actually goes out and looks for these useful idiots. These people are not that smart because they can get them to do their bidding, but you also can't get them to shut up.
They are going to try to create this alternate universe with this whole Obama stuff that Marsha is now trying to propagate.
How can we blame it on the black man?
Well, that for sure. But also, I mean, think about this. What they're saying here is that Obama committed treason and tried a coup because he tried to convince people that he didn't actually lose the election. So what you're basically saying is if you do what we know Trump did in 2020, that's a coup. That's treason. So they are essentially de facto accusing Trump of treason.
They're not critical thinkers.
You went to this Jonesboro town hall recently. Marsha hadn't done a town hall 8 years since February of 2017. She finally decided to show up.
Senator Marsha Blackburn.
I mean, it's so good. I just want to send a huge salute to the Jonesboro folks. I really appreciate that they had the chicken suit out for Marsha. Obviously, we were joking. She did not show up at this town hall. Gloria, what was that like?
The chicken suit was great. They also had handmaidens. There were 300 people in that auditorium in Little Jonesboro, Tennessee. So much came out of that town hall that representatives needed to know. One of the stories from that town hall was retweeted by Hillary Clinton. I was fielding questions like people who have ACA and they're going to lose their subsidies and how much is their insurance going to go up. People who were on disability and were horrified and just knew they were going to get their Medicaid cut and did not know how they were going to pay for their medication. One of the questions really got to me based on a bill that the Tennessee legislature passed this past year, which we knew was a horrible bill, Alliance Defending Freedom, that are bringing these horrible bigoted bills to Tennessee. It's the same group that brought the bill, only certain people can adopt, or you can refuse people adoption. So that bill resulted in a wonderful young Jewish couple being refused adoption. And now they've done it and called it medical ethics. Absolutely the opposite of medical ethics. So this woman went to a physician because she is pregnant, and the physician refused to treat her pregnancy because she is unmarried. She has a partner. They've been together for 15 years. They have a 13-year-old, but because she's unmarried, this physician refused to treat her, take her on throughout her pregnancy, prenatal vitamins and all the things. And the thing that's so frustrating about people, well, just go find another doctor. Well, in Tennessee, we have about half of our counties that have no OBGYN. Are they taking new patients? Do they take her insurance? Do they deliver babies? Not all do. People act like it's just so easy to go do something else. It's absolutely not. I know that most of us have either tried to find a new doctor or a specialist, and it's absolutely not easy.
Even if she was able to find another doctor, just the idea that this is happening out there, this is just one story. Is this the world we want to live in, where people are denied care for who they are? People are passing judgment on your life all the time?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be really concerned. A Jewish oncologist could refuse to treat a Christian cancer patient.
Of course.
That's crazy. It's a human being that has all the same rights that I do. It puts women and families in danger. The trolls say, well, it's probably because she's obese, or it's because she had the wrong insurance. She was rude to the doctor. I guess that means they don't like the bill, because the bill clearly states, and the physician clearly stated, because of this bill, I do not have to treat you. This is what happened to that woman because of the bill, not some other reason. And it's going to happen more often, and it's going to hurt rural communities most.
Right. And the spirit of the bill, which, like most things that we see on the Hill, the spirit of it is just so judgmental, hateful, discriminatory. It's just more division. And I don't think it's where most people are. As Marsha Blackburn, to bring it full circle, decides that she's going to run for governor, which we're going to find out about pretty soon. I do think Tennessee media needs to drill down on things like Marsha Blackburn refusing to back Widens' subpoena of Epstein's bank records. Why is she dropping her crusade about Epstein? There are so many questions to ask Marsha about. You cannot let her walk into the governor's office without pressure. Too often we have seen Marsha get away with that.
Oh, we see it all the time. She's hard to reach intentionally. You've got to stay on her. You've got to understand. You've got to be like a dog with a bone. I'm kind of shocked that not one East Tennessee media outlet has reached out to me about this case at the town hall, because this bill is going to be a problem, and we need to put serious focus on this bill. But not one of the TV stations or newspapers in East Tennessee reached out to me about this. And I have been reached out to by ABC, NBC, CBS. This is a serious issue, and it can have great repercussions on people finding the care that they need. Most doctors do not want to do this.
Remember, teletown halls don't count. That's all Marsha does now. One thing that I am looking forward to, if she ends up our governor, is it's going to be harder for her to avoid me. She's going to be in the state capitol. She's not going to be in D.C. I plan on being right there to bother her as much as I possibly can.
When Bill Lee leaves, he has devastated this budget. Balancing the budget is not going to be easy. And you don't need an intellectual lightweight like Marsha Blackburn. We need somebody who's going to be able to get us through that.
There are some Dems that are in the race. Councilwoman Jerry Greer from Memphis, Carnita Atwater, who has run before.
Adam Kurtz, the pedal steel player.
Gloria, thanks for joining us to talk about this. Obviously, Marsha is a huge hypocrite in so many ways, and this feels like one that we can't let her get away with easily.
Absolutely.
Take everything with this Galain Maxwell stuff with a grain of salt. Ask Marsha why she didn't back this Widens subpoena. Keep asking questions about why Marsha Blackburn has dropped suddenly this Epstein crusade, which is not going away. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.